I've created a teaching practice, virtual and in person, that allows activists to create joy in the midst of this crazy shit. It's impossible to have a fresh idea from an exhausted mind. And with that agency comes tremendous power. That, I believe, is the revolution.
So earlier today, I promised you guys that we would talk to someone who believes in revolution through yoga. Reggie Hubbard is that man. He used to work at MoveOn, and now he's a teacher, activist, strategist, and a peaceful revolutionary, guy right after my own heart. He's the founder and chief serving officer of ActivePeace. And Reggie, first, welcome.
Good to see you again, Jake.
Good
to be with you.
Yeah, good to be with you, brother. It's been a minute since you've been on. Good to have you back.
Yeah, totally. Thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah, and today I was going to try to be calm, and then we got to a story about Randy Fine talking about how we should kill all mainstream Muslims, and I needed your help with the yoga. Okay, so tell me what you're doing first, and then I want to figure out how this is going to help lead to peace and revolution.
Yeah, so I still have my toe in politics, right? You can't go from being where I was at MoveOn and then be like, okay, I'm done, especially given the current state of affairs in the world. But what I've done since leaving MoveOn is I've undertaken like about 1,000, 1,200 hours of yoga and meditation teacher training, and tried to teach folks in the movement, if you are running your mind crazy and or taking on the hate that's coming at you, it's actually a net negative to the movement, right? That's not to give any like thumbs up to what's happening. I keep forgetting that setting is on my computer, but like not to give a thumbs up, right? So that's my meme for you. But not to give a thumbs up for what's happening, but just because other people are being crazy, it doesn't have to make you crazy. And so I try and give people the tools to keep their peace while they wage their revolution.
Okay, so, but I like venting. So why is keeping your peace helpful?
Well, venting is keeping your peace, right? Because one of the things that we tend to do in activist communities is we keep it to ourselves and work harder. I don't know if you've known this, but 20 months ago, I had a stroke and I almost left this plane. And so I now know that keeping stress inside is a killer. And so luckily I had the tools when the stroke was going down to be like, oh my God, this is happening. And used my awareness to focus on what I needed to do in that moment, survived the stroke and had a miraculous recovery. And I think that situation that I've been through is what I'm talking about here. So discharge the craziness that's coming towards you, create an opportunity where once that's out of your system, you keep focus on the good, but you can't focus on the good holding on to the bad. So venting is part of it, but also giving space, giving voice to your frustrations in community is part of organizing, but that's not the end of the story. You give voice to your frustration so that you can share your dreams.
That's interesting. Okay, well then I feel better about what I do because I definitely vent every day and I do get it out of my system. And actually at home, like folks sometimes will think, oh, Jake's super angry normally. No, when I'm off air, I'm not angry almost at all. And so maybe I'm accidentally doing the thing that you're saying that people should do. Now yoga physically is a little bit more challenging for me. So I know you're getting folks in Congress to do it, and then I got curious about that. So you're like, you pull in Bernie Sanders and Chris Coons and be like, come on guys, let's go, we're doing yoga.
Well, I have taught yoga. So I've taught by invitation. I've taught yoga and meditation to Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley and her staff, Deb Haaland. When I keep forgetting these damn things.
I know, it's awesome. It's not my favorite part of this interview. I want everyone who gets interviewed to have that same setting on. Okay. See, we're already having fun.
Yeah, totally. Right. So Ayanna Pressley and her staff, Rashida Tlaib and her staff, and it was during the height of the pandemic, and I still teach these organizations and staffers, like, when stress comes, here's how you keep peace, here's how you discharge. So I'll give you an example. People spend hours like this, and we don't even think that whether it be on the phone or whether it be at your computer, 8 hours like this makes you like a zombie. So the yoga practice is like moving your shoulders or shaking out your hands or doing wrist things so that you can come back into balance so you can keep focused on your work, right? So, and focus on your mission. But like, if you're like this, you're eventually going to turn into the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and we already have them in power right now. You don't need to do that as a progressive activist.
All right, I'm such a boomer these days. There's a song called "Shake It Off." It's by Taylor Swift, right?
Right.
Okay, nailed it. My daughter, exactly. My daughter's gonna be like, ay. Okay, anyways, so
it's your job as a dad.
So no, I'm totally in favor of "Shake It Off." And you're helping me shake off Randy Fine here. No, apparently I still haven't let it go. Anyways, when you worked in politics, were you super stressed out?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Do you feel better now, Reggie? Like, are you a happier person?
I think that I have more peace. Right. I've always been good at keeping happiness, but I didn't have more peace. So I'm at peace now. And what I mean by that is that, yes, the world is worlding and the world is crazy. And I'm doing some pretty amazing things in the world. I've created a teaching practice, virtual and in person, that allows activists to create joy in the midst of this crazy shit, right? Pardon me. But like in the midst of this craziness, people have peace and are viewing activism as a creative act as opposed to like drudgery, right? Because more often than not, like many communities are like getting together and like, this is terrible, this is terrible. I give people an opportunity to be like, this is terrible, and here's the beautiful thing that we're going to create in this terrible circumstance.
So look, number one, I love it because it's different and it's trying to bring a little bit of peace, balance in the world in a personal way. Right? Like, so we want peace on a global scale, but we should also want peace on an individual level, right? In a personal way. So we should be consistent about that. We do Operation Joy here on Tuesdays for the same reason. Right? So, if we're trying to, why do we do all the things that we do? Trying to bring positive change in the world, right? So that we can make people a little bit, more satisfied, better off, happier. Well, why don't we skip to happiness? Like, while we're doing all that, let's also take a detour to happiness right now, instead of 20 years from now after we win or whatever it is that happens. Right. Okay, but do you also think that it's like not doing it and being super stressed out and all, et cetera, is quote unquote poisoning the movement?
Totally.
Tell me how, tell me why you think that.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I teach is that it's impossible to have a fresh idea from an exhausted mind. So many people are like, I'm burning the midnight oil, blah, blah, blah. So not fully understanding that you're degrading the quality of your intellect by being exhausted all the time and not resetting and not recalibrating and those sorts of things. So that's the first part. The second part is that when you take an opportunity to clear stress in your body and in your mind, you come to the work with a fresher perspective, as opposed to, like I said, we think of the energetic equivalent of this for hours. So continuing to do that to your energy, that's where you operate from. Whereas if you reset, you can be more focused, clear, and on message, as opposed to just the accumulated habits of letting stress without any clearance. That's what I'm talking about. Peace is not like not seeing the horrors of the world. It's seeing the horrors of the world and not taking those horrors on personally.
Yeah, you know what sucks is that bad guys aren't bothered by that, right? So like we're all stressed out about the stuff they're doing, not even the stuff we're doing.
And they don't care, right?
Right. And meanwhile, they're like, da, 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 da. Hey, we just started another war. Tons of people are gonna get killed.
Yeah, the president said that he gave his handling of the economy an A++++++, and I'm like,
no, but Reggie, maybe he's doing your yoga.
No, he ain't.
Because he's destroying the economy, and he's like, I got this. A+++++. Okay.
Yeah, that's delusion, though. That's not truth and peace.
Yeah, it is definitely an illusion. He's trying to trick himself, let alone others. His whole life is an illusion. He's a con man extraordinaire. Okay, but what do I got other than yoga? Because for me, yoga physically is gonna be challenging. And so can I meditate? Can I do something else?
Yeah, well, you see behind me here, I have these sound bowls. So one of the things that I have done since leaving MoveOn is I've got all these sound bowls and gongs because the quickest way to peace for me is through a pleasant sound. We live in a society that venerates noise, so whether it be like horns or screaming or all those sorts of things. Whereas, for me, the quickest way to peace is here. Like a simple, peaceful sound with my eyes closed allows my mind to come to a place of like, cool. And then I can get back to whether it be my strategic task or the organizing or whatever I'm doing because I clear my mind, right? So the other thing that I would say is yoga, there's a physical component, but I offer meditation and sound meditation to clear your mind so that you can approach old problems with new ways of thinking.
Okay, so that's not gonna work for me either because I'm no good at music. But I can clear my mind with one thing.
You're good at listening to music, right?
Barely. Okay.
I love the honesty, man. That's what's
up. But I got my own version. Banana cream pie. Clear the mind right away. Okay, so everybody's got their own drug. You know what? So I'm gonna come back to mindfulness and how it's gonna lead to revolution in a second. But you mentioned music. I know we have a video of you doing music. God, I'm so bad at anything that's cool. Anyways, okay. But part of the reason I'm gonna play it is like, so this is left wing, right wing, et cetera. This is all coming together to try to get our government back and et cetera. But I am gonna drive the right wing a little bit crazy just by playing music for peace. Let's watch.
Love it.
Yeah, okay, I see it. And different strokes for different folks. Like me, I can't. I don't know. It's not. But when I watch it, I go, okay, yeah. I totally see how that's peaceful, and I totally see how that's your art and your expression, and almost a form of your venting. I scream.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that you see that. So the other thing on the other side of that camera is 30 people, right, from all walks of life, mostly from an activist bent. Many of them are asleep because those tones allow for them to just be like, so when they wake up from wherever they go, they are refreshed to take on the world and not be so stressed out. So on the other side of that camera is 30 people in various states of sleep or meditation.
Okay, so talk to me. Oh, by the way, there is one piece of one genre of music that does definitely help me, put me in a Zen mood of mind.
Talk to me.
Christmas carols.
Okay.
Okay, I love Christmas songs. So right after, as soon as Thanksgiving dinner is over, my daughter puts on the Christmas songs, and we're off to the races from here to New Year's. So that gives me joy. All right, mindfulness, is it gonna lead to the revolution, or is it the revolution itself?
I think it's the revolution itself. So I grew up listening to artists, activists like Gil Scott-Heron, and he talked about the revolution will not be televised. Like the revolution he was talking about is the revolution of consciousness. So being aware of, so one thing that I teach folks now is that the government is seeking to stress you out. So recognizing the tools of the government that are now used to pick your nerves and protecting yourself from that is part of the revolution, because you're I will not fall for this craziness. This is what's happening. Mindfulness is about being honest and loving with what's happening and then doing what you need to do in the first place. So folks, when they see the president say something racist, they're like, can you believe the president said something racist? I'm like, he's been racist for 80 years. I can believe it. And mindfulness allows me to be like, yes, this is who he is. This is what's happening. I choose not to invest in that, and I will focus on what I need to do. And when I started thinking that way and doing that way, my idea went from an idea to a practice that has like impacted like leaders and tens of thousands of people across the country and the world.
You know, I had this debate with one of our other hosts, Michael Schur, once. I forget if it was on air or off air, but no, it was during Old School, one of our fun shows. And I said that, shoot, what was it? So for that I'm culturally, this is what it was. I said, I feel like sometimes I'm a little culturally right wing, okay? And what I mean by that is, I'm a bit of a Neanderthal as a gut instinct, and when you say mindfulness, like it brings me back to me growing up in the 1980s and 90s and stuff. Totally. And I'm like, mindfulness.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right? Okay, so, but
totally.
Let me see if I got it right. Now, I hope I'm past a little, like an inch past Neanderthal, so let's see if I got it. So it just means like, don't go on autopilot. Be aware that, hey, wait, this is my mind. I can do what I want with it, right? I could choose to get stressed. I could choose not to get stressed. I can choose to be shocked. I could choose not to be shocked. But either way, I'm in control of my own mind.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right.
And using that in a way to build and create the future that you want to create. Right, so using the power of your mind rather than focus on someone else's shortcomings or something that makes you angry about someone, instead of you being angry about that, you're like, okay, that makes me mad. I will no longer focus on that, and I'll focus on the thing that gives me joy. I'll focus on the thing that inspires and helps people. The most precious resource we have as human beings is our time and attention. And how we waste it on things that don't matter is mindlessness. Mindfulness is being like, look, I got this superpower here, and I choose to invest it here, in these aims, personal or professional or spiritual. And in so doing, I have the control, I have the agency, no one else does. And with that agency comes tremendous power. That, I believe, is the revolution.
I get it now. Now I get it.
Yes.
Okay, right there with you. Okay. And by the way, Reggie, I also didn't know that the revolution will not be televised was a reference to like opening up your consciousness, and that's why it's not televised. I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I would have said, wait a minute, I want to televise the revolution. In fact, that's what this show is. Right? But you know what? Ironically, come to think of it, we went full circle. Maybe by revealing that it's opening up your mind and getting control of your own mind, right? No matter which direction your mind is going, that we just accidentally televise the revolution.
I'm here for that.
Okay, and by the way, once you clear your mind and you stop being so stressed or
and reactive,
and I'll invent a word here. Powerlessly angry, right? When you're powerlessly angry, you're not really helping anyone, whether it's yourself or anyone else. Whereas when you go, wait a minute, let me think about this. Instead of having it bother me, let me use that energy to go actually try to fix the problem.
You're a foot past Neanderthal now. You were shooting for an inch. You are 12 inches past Neanderthal now, family. Like, look at you, man.
Okay. Maybe there is hope for me after all.
Okay. I love it, man. Good work. That's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like we did a session here. Okay, and before I let you go, two things. One, so tell folks about ActivePeace. Like, what can they do with it, et cetera? Tell us about that.
So ActivePeace, virtually or in person, I have classes. We talk about issues like we just did. So why mindfulness matters, what it really is, not what the mindfulness industrial complex thinks it is. I play sound for folks. We have Prince themed classes, like coming up in the new year, we'll have Martin Luther King and social justice themed classes, talking about how we align mind, body, and spirit to do the work of coming together as opposed to like falling prey to coming apart. And so ActivePeaceYoga.com is where you can find information about that. But I also, like I said, I care too much about our shared humanity to not be involved in politics at some level. So I, in a business capacity, advise other organizations on here's how you can get your issue more seen or relevant by focusing your energy. So it's not just about like yoga and meditation classes, it's using the tools of yoga and meditation to help people advance their causes as well.
Okay, so ActivePeaceYoga.com, but I'm gonna add an extra question in here because I noticed the sign behind you for the artist formerly known as Prince. So does Prince have a role in the revolution?
Prince always has a role in the revolution, and Prince is one of the patron saints of Active Peace. So Prince and Jimi Hendrix are the patron saints of Active Peace, two black male creatives who just lit the world on fire with their artistry, and revolutionized people by being who they were and not caring about what people told them that they were. So totally, Prince. There's always a place for the revolution in Prince.
All right, sounds good. And before I leave you, the last thing I was going to say is, okay, so just to redeem myself yet another inch, maybe we can get to 13 inches here past the Neanderthal.
Baker's dozen.
My favorite musician is Chuck Berry. So
okay,
not bad, not bad.
Totally.
All right.
Totally.
Okay, not bad. So you know what I love about Chuck Berry, among 1,000 things, is that so Johnny B. Good I think is the American song, and I have the version where they're originally recording it. And they start it up, and they do 3 takes before they get it right? And in one of the takes, he's paying so much attention to the piano that he says, like, no, you're slipping into roll over Beethoven, right? Come back to this. And so as he's playing, and as he's so in the moment, so mindful that he's listening to every instrument, every part of it, and at the end they finish, and they've created maybe the best, in my opinion, the best song, the most representative song in American history, right? And he goes, that's pretty good. So that brother was mindful.
Totally.
All right, Reggie Hubbard, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. You're amazing. Thank you for giving us a little bit of peace. I mean, look at what Reggie did, right? You saw me an hour ago, like yelling at the top of my lungs about Randy Fine, and here I am chilling out and enjoying the music. All right, brother. See you soon.
Peace, man. Thank you very much.
All right, you too.